Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Forest Podcast. I am Peyton,
And this is Adam.
and this is going to be our second episode in on off-topic rambling, where we just literally talk about anything that comes to our head and get off topic by talking about something else.
That's what we do best.
Yup. So, why don't you start us out with the conversation, Adam?
Well, first off, shout out to Bigfoot.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Bigfoot.
Okay.
They, more and more people are believing in them every day.
And I want to go ahead and address the sound issue the echoing that you're probably hearing for both of our mics. And we'll have that fixed very shortly.
ASAP. We'll get it fixed ASAP.
ASAP Rocky.
Hey. What?
He's a rapper.
I know he's a rapper.
He's gonna fix it.
This is a collab now?
If he's up for it.
Alrighty. So.
Okay, so why do you believe in Bigfoot?
Why do I believe in Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Well, because no matter how much we've explored, we've never explored everywhere.
Of course. Especially with the sea.
The sea, there's probably creatures in the deep, dark, deepest place.
Deep, dark, deepest.
Yes, deep, dark, deepest. There you don't know what there could be there, and same way here. How much there's forests and stuff that we haven't explored, and if they are kind of like big giant apes, and there's actually a theory that there's apes and then Bigfoot and then humans.
Apes, Bigfoot.
Yep.
Okay.
Apes, Bigfoot, and humans, like the evolution. And there might have been some that never evolved into human.
So why is Bigfoot the only one that hasn't evolved? Because he just chooses not to?
No, it's just the other ones died off.
Why?
I don't know. I wasn't alive back then, but that's
you
what
seem
happened.
to know a lot about his race.
The internet said it, so it has to be true.
Okay, that makes sense. So, what else do you believe in?
What else do I believe in? Aliens. You got aliens, Bigfoot, the Illuminati. The Men in Black, those people, all those I believe in.
Okay.
But the only more or less part of the reason why is some of it would be cool to happen, and I think it is possible. And there's other thing that's susceptible. There is a lot of evidence that can kind of prove it more that they do exist.
Okay.
And it's just also having an open mind, not because most people don't believe in aliens.
Okay.
And literally the people that don't believe in aliens, most of the time it's usually because one, no evidence, they just don't believe. Another reason is they would be afraid to believe in something out there because it makes us, instead of being the dominant species, now we're tinier.
So what you're saying is, your theory is the reason
People on their high horse.
the reason why people don't believe that aliens exist is because they're afraid that they will be basically a smaller being.
Yes, basically.
Why don't you say this to someone who doesn't believe in aliens?
I mean, no, it's not all that, but a lot of it is the fact that because if aliens did arrive, people would start having mental breakdowns knowing we're not the biggest thing out there, and to those aliens, it's like how we see apes, or maybe peants. Pence.
Mike
Yes.
Pence.
Yes, Mike Pence.
What about him?
The aliens would treat us like they do Pence.
What?
Yeah, just like they do Pence.
Because he was over the Space Force?
Technically, yeah. He is the collaborator between us and the aliens. He's gonna come out. I guarantee you. I bet you $10,000 that within the next 2 years, Pence will come out and declare that aliens exist.
Okay, I'll bet you that.
It's all connected. Everything is connected one way or another.
Okay, and I'm going to address something. I'm going to go off topic and address something real quick that on this podcast, we are not just going to be doing just off-topic rambling. We're also going to be doing like movie reviews and for like maybe like TV series. It really just depends. And if you have any suggestions, any subjects that you all would want us to talk about, feel free to like leave a comment or get in contact with either of us and just like give us suggestions that you want to hear us talk about.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, after a while, sometimes, our brains don't want to work, and then we can't really come up with good topics. So if you have any ideas whatsoever, any suggestions what we should talk about, definitely get in touch with one of us or, comment that, hey, I think y'all should do this, and we'll definitely cover it. Every single person that writes a suggestion, we will cover it.
Yes. Alright. Go on topic, Adam.
Off topic.
We're not doing good on this episode of Off Topic Rambling because we kind of lost.
That's the point of it. When you're going off topic, you're just rambling about things, and that's just.
Well, ask me a completely random thing then.
What do you think of black holes?
Black holes? Don't know much about them. I just know that they eat things, per se.
Like it.
Good movie that talks about black holes is Interstellar with McConaughey.
Yes. Or the what's that one space?
Which one?
Event Horizon. Because they have a mini black hole inside the ship, and that's what teleports them to hell and everything.
Well, yeah. That's
black
a
holes.
weird movie. It's very creepy.
Yeah, very.
It was ahead of its time.
But actually, some people actually, there was a thing going around. Some people actually believed on set of that movie Event Horizon that it was cursed because there was always an accident one way or another. Not all of it horrible or anything, but there has been accidents like that in the production of the movie more than usual. So that's just a little fun topic on that one.
I remember because my brother likes Event Horizon. Haven't seen it fully. I've seen only bits and pieces of it. But
well, you need to definitely watch the whole thing. The story's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was a cult following.
They actually, even though the same guy who plays in that played on Jurassic Park, there was no dinosaurs in this at all, and I was kind of disappointed because you see that actor, his name slipped my mind, but
Sam Neill.
Huh?
Sam Neill.
Sam Neill?
Yeah, he's the one who played on Jurassic Park.
Sam Neill. Aliens. Put that backwards.
Believe it or not, he's Scottish.
It's aliens. Look, that's what it spells. If you turn to Sam Neill. No.
No, you think of Neil Armstrong.
Is it Neil Armstrong?
Yeah, is the A, and Neil backwards is alien. But the director of Event Horizon, the reason why he actually did the movie was because he wanted to make kind of like an alien kind of film because he was a big fan of the Alien franchise, and he actually got to direct. I think it was the first Alien vs. Predator, which
I liked it.
I think it was better than Requiem.
Yeah, I mean, and on Alien vs. Predator, like the first one takes place in the Antarctic. Yeah, the first Alien vs. Predator takes place in the Antarctic.
Yeah,
on an underground pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
the thing, like on that, and then a Requiem takes place in a town,
Mm-hmm.
which, how most things end. They just, the American way, we just drop nukes.
Yeah, just get it over with.
Just get over with. We're like, we ain't going to play around. We're
Get right to the point.
pish posh. We're just going to go ahead and nuke you and be done with. But, I mean, I kind of like Requiem because it was more open. Which was actually, like, I forget which comic it was for aliens. They actually go to Earth, but the Earth has been overran by the aliens.
In a way. Well, I think in the first Alien vs. Predator movie, that whenever they did the flashbacks, they were talking about how they used Earth at that time as basically kind of like a tournament to kill like hundreds of aliens, and if they couldn't do it, they just blow it all up and try somewhere else.
Man, he failed.
Killing
Another
for
one's got to
sport.
go.
But I thought that I didn't really care for Requiem is because I just didn't like the story, and it was dark, not dark as in scary. It was dark as in you can't see shit.
Yeah.
And I thought that Alien vs. Predator, the regular one, the first one, was a by far better story. Keep in mind, it wasn't that best of a story to begin with, but even it was PG-13, and it goes to show whenever you make a rated R film, doesn't necessarily make it better.
Except for the blood and gore sometimes.
It's kind of like that way with
Mortal Kombat.
yes,
The new Mortal Kombat. Oh, God, yeah.
that was a good movie.
I mean, like, the first Predator movie is always going to be the best because it's got Arnold in it.
Oh wait, what?
The first Predator movie.
Okay.
I think out of the whole universe, it's, that movie is the
I
one.
like the second Predator was pretty good too with Danny Glover.
Yeah, and didn't take to like the L.A. riots or something like that.
I think so. I'm pretty sure. And but I didn't even necessarily think that the movie Predators was a bad movie. How it takes place on their like own world, but in a way, it's kind of a rehash of the first one. Basically, getting a bunch of people together in the woods area, and basically killing predators. But it leaves it on a cliffhanger of how they're still stuck on the planet.
Which I know the comic. There's a comic out that actually takes place right where the movie leaves off at the end, and everything still being stuck on the planet. The comic book picks up, and he instead of the guy that goes crazy in the end, instead of him actually going and dying basically.
So he didn't die?
At the end, on the comic book, he doesn't die. He actually wins. And then he's basically going, if I'm not mistaken, he's basically going up to where all the other predators are. And he's going to fight them too.
Okay.
Because he basically gets the gear from the other predators.
Now, watching The Predator, I think it was The Predator that came out. Have you seen it? The last one?
The newest one, no.
It's okay.
I know I guess the Alpha Predator or whatever it was,
Yeah.
the bigger one, it was full CGI.
You can definitely tell.
And the actual regular Predator wasn't CGI. It was, costume and stuff like that.
Practical.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing because, just like Alien vs. Predator was good, even the Alien vs. Predator video game was good. Yes. That was on the PS3. You was able to pick between, there's like 3 different campaigns, Alien, Colonial Marine, and Predator.
Yeah.
Which the Alien one always tripped me out because you could climb on walls and you're upside down and sideways, stuff like that. It always tripped me out. Like, I don't know how to complete this game right now.
I
But
don't-
you know that was a good game.
I-
They need to make a remake of it. But they're kind of doing that new one. It's like a third person. One of there's so many players.
if anything,
Co-op.
I think of it more of like a rehash of Colonial Marines.
Yeah. Which Alien Clone Marines was crap.
Dog shit.
Yeah, it was complete and total dog doo doo. Because, I mean, the gun sounded horrible. The AI was horrible.
The AI was crap.
The graphics was even,
It was a big letdown. That's why.
because it got pumped up like this is going to be the game that's all about you being a colonial marine and that's it, to being not even that much about aliens.
No.
And that when the aliens do come, you can kill them in a few shots. Unlike if you look at the actual old alien movies, it takes a lot of shots to kill an alien.
Mm-hmm.
But on there, you can take them out with a few shots from the pulse rifle and you're done. I mean, you know,
What
it
was
was
that big gun called on Aliens? There's a name for it. Sonic gun or something like that. I don't really remember the name.
I'm not really sure. I watched the alien movies finally, but I don't remember everything about it.
You saw the last one, right? Alien. Shit, far. I can't even remember the name.
There's
It was a sequel to.
is one where they're on that planet.
Yeah, it's a sequel to Prometheus.
Yeah. That's aliens.
Covenant.
Aliens. Huh?
Alien Covenant.
Oh, that one. I couldn't get into it that much. The other
It
ones I
wasn't that
did.
good. It had a good idea, but it didn't really go anywhere per se. It was a big letdown. It kind of like at the end of Prometheus, it kind of gave a sneak peek of what the evolution of the xenomorph. But I think at the end of that, it literally like retcons the whole thing with that last scene, and it's like a completely different being. And the alien, you know how it used to be like this like snake looking thing whenever it popped out, chest bursters?
Yeah.
Well, these will actually are like miniature of the big aliens, big like a miniature xenomorph.
I mean, unless like they evolved more.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, it's the Prometheus. You know, if you look at Alien versus Predator, those might as well just be fan.
Yes.
You know, like fan art, or fan fiction.
Fan films.
And because if you honestly think about it, you know, Alien versus Predator and versus Predator Requiem, both of those literally take place right now.
Yes.
And then you look at, you know, Prometheus, where the alien first ever,
Oh yeah, that does.
when it evolves, which is way far in the future when they go to another, you know, that they can go, you know, around the galaxy.
What was the first movie you remember watching in the theater?
War of the Worlds.
World War. Wait, what?
War of the Worlds.
Oh, was that with Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Good movie. I remember that movie.
It was basically Mission Impossible
With aliens.
with aliens.
I remember watching that. I also remember like the scary movie too,
Oh.
with it kind of making fun of it and how Jigsaw was like working one of the machines.
Oh yeah. Those like scary movie. If you're watching something just be funny, they are funny. Some of the jokes are like
Kind of cringy.
cringy and very immature jokes,
Yeah.
like if a kid wrote
Yeah.
trying
That's
to be,
basically what
you
it
know,
is, like
some kind of
dumb
joke like
fun.
that. But like, you can sit there, just chill, watch it, and just have a good time. Especially Scary Movie 5 and all that. Like, or number 2, Scary Movie 2 that they The Grudge. It's either number 1, number 2.
I think it might have been 2, because Scary Movie 1 mainly focused on the Scream franchise.
Yeah, and then like, yeah, I think it was 2.
It could have been 2 or 3, because there's one where it takes place in like a haunted house with Tim Curry, the guy who played a lot of stuff. Pennywise, the first one.
He did good with Pennywise.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's the original, but
I mean, yeah, like the new Pennywise, he isn't the the old It with Tim Curry. Not Tim Curry. Is it Tim Curry?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Curry. You know, he was he could be nice and he could be a clown that would be funny.
yeah,
You could see kids getting drawn into it.
yeah,
And then being mean. And then the new one, he's just creepy all around.
Yeah.
He could be smiling at you, trying to be friendly, and you're probably going to punch him in the face and run.
yeah,
I mean, if they changed it, which I get what they was doing. It's a remake.
and it worked.
And I think Stephen King
Loved it.
loved it. Like, he actually said that he honestly thinks it was better than the old one.
And I think the reason why, since he loved it so much, he made the cameo in the second movie in that bike shop.
Did you know that actually on the It book, original It book, they literally, one of the trials they have to go through, basically sacrifices and stuff like that to be able to defeat it when they're kids. One of them is a orgy.
I heard about that.
Yeah, and they're kids, and people thought that was like,
Really, really screwed up.
yeah,
Which I can't blame.
yeah, but you know how Stephen King is.
He's an odd man.
He's a very odd man, but he makes some good books.
I can't remember per se, but I think with in Stephen King's universe, there's this turtle that holds up the world or something like that. Is that what that is?
It holds the universe.
Holds the universe.
Yeah.
Now, would they ever put that in the movies? Probably not.
No, it's not realistic and scary. Which, you ever seen Dreamcatcher?
Who's in it?
Don't remember. Hang on. Let me do some Googling real quick, and I will tell you on that because
While you do that, what was the first scary movie you ever took a girl to see?
that what
Took a girl to see.
took a girl to see? Huh. Honestly,
Have you?
yeah. I think one movie,
What movie?
and that was, I think it's A Quiet Place. Yeah.
Really?
If I'm not mistaken, it was A Quiet Place. It was the first time I ever took. Although movies was always love stories or comedies, stuff like that. The first time ever taking a girl on a date and to the movies was seeing Deadpool.
Really?
Yes, when it first came out, we seen Deadpool.
I think the first movie I ever saw with a girl was, I think it was the last Paranormal Activity movie. Something Doors, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, there's one.
I remember seeing, it might have been the Paranormal Activity. I might be thinking of something completely different. I remember watching a horror film with a girl, and it had, I think it was the Insidious movie, The Last Key or something like that. But by far, still my favorite horror film, which is not that scary, but I still love it, is Dead Silence.
Very, very creepy movie.
Especially if
That
you don't like ventriloquist dummies.
which, if you think about it, though, if none of those people would die if they didn't scream. That's the only time it killed you was when you screamed. It would haunt you until it caught you off guard and you screamed.
If you just like tape your mouth shut.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Sew your lips shut. Just
I was gonna say tape it.
just tape all the way around so it can't break off. You tie all the way around your head at your mouth level. And you have a hole to drink.
I remember whenever I let a past girlfriend of mine watch Dead Silence with me. We watched it at my house, and I think it was my brother. While we were watching it, I had these old ventriloquist dolls growing up because I just at one point for some reason I thought they were cool. But my brother like sat it out in the middle of the hall, and whenever she came out of the room, she saw it and it like scared her.
I'd have looked at it and be like, okay, yeah, I'm going back in the room.
Well, that's one thing that me and her did a lot was we watched a lot of movies. I don't even remember the movies because it's been so long. I remember used to since I didn't have internet at my house. I would have to go to my grandparents and get the movies off of a torrent site.
Oh yeah.
Download it onto the laptop. And so I would do maybe five or six movies a week. So because I'll watch that movie and I want to go on to another one. But I moved on to, I did that for the longest time, so I had to plug my laptop to my TV, and that's how I just watched movies. Unless we went to the flea market and got the discs. But most times they were crap quality.
Oh yeah, at the flea markets. Sometimes they wasn't even the actual movie.
No.
And you're like,
can't really do anything.
It's like, wait a minute, this should, no way.
But I think with a Fire Stick has really made that go away because it's a lot easier.
But I mean, I remember they had LimeWire.
Yeah.
And it was so easy to find your movies, songs, everything. You could just go boop and have it there and download it. Because Mom used to do it.
Really?
Yeah, we had literally probably over almost 200 movies. We do not condone pirating in any way.
No.
But back in the old days, it was, make it sound like we're really old. But, the early 2000s, it was easy to do all that.
Doesn't mean it was legal, but...
Yeah. Yeah, it was illegal, but most of the time, they usually didn't do nothing to people. It was more just to scare them.
Yes. I remember, with... if you get with some internet companies, if you got caught, doing it, you did it the wrong way, basically, and it alerts the production company that you're pirating a video, and they'll send a cease and desist to your internet company, and they'll send you a cease and desist. If you don't do that, they'll cut you out.
Well, I mean...
And you can't really blame them. You're the one doing the illegal thing.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really blame them, but at the same time... because I remember that old commercial. It shows a guy pull out his leather jacket, a DVD, and stuff like that, and it was pirating is a. I forgot what it was, just something like pirating is not a harmless like crime or something like that. It was something.
It's only
for it.
it's only not harmless to the production company because they're the ones getting the shit into the stick.
Oh yeah, because they ain't getting paid.
But it's not hurting necessarily anyone around you.
Yeah, which I can see, because if they said it was legal, who'd be going to the store and buying DVDs?
Yeah.
Nobody. They'd be getting a laptop and just burning all the DVDs and everything.
But people's been like trying to find ways around like TVs and getting free TV and movies for the longest time. Like there was whenever like with DirecTV, how you used to have like a card that you'd plug into your video box, and it basically gave you the channels that you signed up for with DirecTV. And some people would have a machine where they can like pirate those cards. So whenever you put it in the TV box, you get those channels all for free. So it's basically you're beating the system, and that's how it was before everything became more digital. And then like no matter how much technology advances, there's always going to be ways to get around from paying for something.
Oh yeah, I mean, because eventually the software, all that stuff leaks online.
Yes.
The source code and everything for it. So boom, all of a sudden now they don't. Which the good thing about humans, we evolve, we adapt and overcome all the time. So I mean that's why we're still here.
Yeah, that's true.
After thousands of years.
Did you ever figure out the name of that movie? Or did you forget?
So, yeah, it was Dreamcatcher. Good thing you actually reminded me on that. Actually, Timothy Oliphant.
Oh, yeah.
Oliphant.
I remember. He played
Damian Lewis.
Agent 47 and all that.
Jason Lee.
Jason Lee. Oh.
Donnie Wahlberg.
Okay. Hey.
Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
Thomas Jane, the one did play Mist.
And the Punisher.
And Tom Sizemore.
I'd have to see the face, but everyone else that I can remember.
It came out in 2003. And basically, it's weird. It's basically Dreamcatcher tells of 4 young friends who perform a heroic act and are changed forever by an uncanny powers they gain in return. Years later, the friends, now men, are on a hunting trip in Maine woods when they are overtaken by a blizzard in which something much more ominous moves. Challenged to stop an alien force, the friends must prevent the slaughter of innocent civilians by a military vigilante, then overcome a threat to the bond between them.
It's hard to believe, like, I was 5 when that movie came out.
Yeah, I remember watching it, and it's weird. It's definitely a Stephen King thing. And the aliens, they get one guy and take over his body because they're like these worm things, and one of them's sitting on the toilet.
Have you ever cried while watching a movie?
Yes.
What movie?
American Sniper.
That's fair.
Lone Wanderer. Not Lone Wanderer.
Lone Survivor?
Lone Survivor, yeah.
I love how you name both war movies about Navy SEALs.
That made me cry just at the end as well when he gets saved.
Yeah, and his whole team died. And I bet that put a big,
He probably had to go to therapy.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt, because your whole team died and you automatically think, why not me?
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Luttrell, that was his name. And I think he actually made a cameo in Lone Survivor.
Maybe at the military base, something like that.
I think he was in the helicopter that went down.
Oh, the one that had the Marines?
Yeah.
And stuff, and other groups in there as well. Yeah, because the RPG goes right in through the tail end of in a Chinook and hits. Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, imagine like one all the pain you go through getting shot. I don't know how many times practically and falling off cliffs, hitting trees, everything. Not only that, but the fact that you know, out of it was 4 people, 4 or 5,
5, I believe.
five. But like, and on those, all those people died except for you.
Yeah.
You would wonder why.
And you'd probably find a ways to blame yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the movie, wasn't it he didn't want to kill...
But because there was a younger boy and an old man, and they was bringing cattle, and they could be actual lookouts. And one of them votes to just shoot them because we let them go. They're going to go back and tell. Another one of them said to tie them up to trees and leave them there. And then Margaret Social was like, no, we're not going to do that. Do you want to end up on the news? Like, do you want to get in trouble? That's how that happens, by shooting them or leave them out to die. And he goes, we're going to let them go. And then we're going to head out. And as soon as they let him go, the boy went flying down the hill and telling. And that's what which you don't want to kill an innocent kid and elderly person at all, or anybody, but you know, at the same time, it got a whole lot of people dead.
Yeah, but you gotta, with that,
America.
I bet with that, he just like, it's something that he had to learn to live with. Especially to be a consultant on that movie. Basically, you're reliving that the day you want to forget.
Yeah, but the only good thing about consulting,
you know how real it is.
Yeah, you know, everything's for people's perspective.
Yeah, that's true.
But you know, when it came down to it, just seeing what actually happened, and it wasn't just an action movie. Like, it was an action movie, people that just wants to be an action movie, but it was a real life thing that happened, and they had to go through. Yeah, like stuff like that is actually good when they actually have like authentic people there, even if it's like consultant from the military or something like that. Be like, hey, this is how this works. Like John Wick.
He actually got training.
He got training, like good training.
Yeah.
So I mean, and those movies are great.
Yeah, that's true.
My sunburn's itching.
Fantastic. All right. Now you pick something. We're really not doing good this time.
We're good. They were rambling.
Yeah,
that's what this is about.
Last episode we just kept going on. Now we're like, say anything. Something that you would want to talk about.
Pancakes.
Why'd I ask you?
Well, I don't know. I was wondering the same thing, but I was surprised.
Pancakes and waffles are the same thing.
No.
Yes.
Nope. They taste different.
No, they taste the same.
Yes, they do.
They taste the same.
If you think they taste the exact same, then you're wrong.
They're the same thing.
You're wrong.
They're the same thing.
Wrong again.
Tell me a time in your life that you felt that there is no hope. It's okay to cry. Go ahead.
Let's see here.
Or something in that nature that you're comfortable with talking about.
I mean, I really don't know. Like, at every time that I'm completely hopeless.
You've never
per
been
se.
completely hopeless?
Not in in my mind. It's everything, yeah, in a bad spot, but I, you know,
Eventually, you get out of it.
yeah, I know eventually. Don't know when. Don't know how long that's how long it's going to take, and how I'm going to do it, but I'll get out of it. So that kind of keeps me in check a little bit better.
What what sort of stuff bothers you?
What stuff bothers me?
Yeah.
Well, stuff that irritates me more. One thing is, if I'm learning stuff or I'm trying let's say doing my job,
Hmm.
and then next thing you know, I have everybody, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that?
So you
Stuff like
add
that.
on top of it.
People just adding a bunch of stuff, and you're trying to do something yourself that you need to get done, but everybody else is like, like ooh, like, and then they just keep piling on. That stuff irritates me, like that, like bad.
So is it irritate you or is it like a pet peeve? Well, I guess that's the same thing.
Yeah, it's just something that honestly can make me go from having a halfway decent day to I don't want to talk to nobody the rest of the day.
Okay, let me rephrase this question. What is something that upsets you, not makes you mad, but like it upsets you in an emotional level?
Those dog commercials.
Oh my god, those PETA commercial. Is it PETA or is it like
It's I know it's got the
Arms of the Angel song?
Yeah, and that just gets me because they make you feel guilty if you don't.
Yeah, but in reality, do you know if they actually post? You actually help them, or are they just taking donations for the company themselves? Who are they helping? The dogs, the animals.
That's the thing that they pull at people's heart.
Mhm.
Smart, but heartless.
That's what a lot of people even do nowadays with like sometimes with relationships.
Mm-hmm. Everybody takes advantage of somebody else. All the time. That's just how it is. Well, like promotions at work, stuff like that.
Mm.
And it's just you're always going to do that. Everybody's going to automatically do that. Just cause humans in general are more competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what, we're trying to one up.
Name a mistake that you've made in your life that you wish you could take back or that you regret. It could be about someone. It could be about something.
I've made plenty of
You're
mistakes
human.
and stuff like that, but at the same time, honestly, personally, I can't say that because every mistake that I may have gotten me where I'm at today
Yeah.
and everything. So
But do you regret it for not your sake, but someone else's sake?
yeah. There's been especially one girl, with her, I made a mistake because things got tough, left.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And she was the nicest girl ever, plain and simple. And it's just, and then I screwed it up. That I would take back.
But would you say that you've learned from that?
Yes. Yes, I definitely have.
Now, whenever it came to her, what was going through your head at the time? Was it just because things was tough and you were afraid of commitment, or was it that you had in your head that you could find someone better?
No, it was. It was partially like, at one point, just like, should I really commit to this?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. There's other women out there, all that kind of stuff. But
It's a very horrible thing to think.
yes, and it is. It definitely is. And at the time, like, plus money was a little tough, stuff like that, and I couldn't take her out and good dates all the time and all that kind of stuff, and couldn't get her stuff that she wanted, stuff like that, and things just piled up, that work, everything like that, and I just decided to be like, deuces, I'm out.
And it also doesn't help that you probably overthink everything.
Yes, very much so.
I think that's how, like, with how I am also, because, I mean, like, I've made my fair share of mistakes, and, I mean, I'm human. I feel like I've learned from them, and in a way, I feel like I've not say I fully have paid my debt, but I could say that I tried. Like, of course, I screwed up, but because, like, with one girl, I was afraid of, let's say, like, getting married and stuff, because we were dating a for about 3 years, and so it's when you reach that mark, you start to think it's either you're going to do something or you're going to run.
Mm.
And I ran because I was scared, and it was wrong of me, and because how I did it, I automatically thought that wasn't exactly what I wanted, but that I wanted something different. But in reality, it was that selfishness. It's the cockiness that gets in your head, and you don't truly know how much that person cared until they're not in your life anymore.
And usually people, most people, which is just human nature or instinct, something like that. When it comes down to it, you're going to one overthink things, and that's just something that happens, and learning from mistakes is always good, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Because if you're, I don't know, it's one of those things. As long as you, like I said, as long as you learn from it, you'll be good and everything. But most people don't, know when they're living in the good times
Yes, definitely.
until the bad times hit, wishing you had those good times back.
I think it also, in a way, like, it doesn't matter how much someone hurts you,
Mm.
you still care about them if you truly do love them. Because it's like, because a lot of people can say that you love someone and mean it, and you could just say it, but to actually mean it is a whole different story.
Mm.
And there are some people that will say that they love multiple people the same way, and I don't believe that. You can probably love multiple people, but you can't be in love with
Yeah.
multiple people, because it's,
Any like romantic
yes,
relationship.
definitely. And it goes in that sense of, if the person that they are in love with is obviously who they want to be with.
Mm.
And if you go through life and you make mistakes with someone and they turn out to get happy, you can't sit there and sulk, really, because yes, you made the mistake. And if you tried to get that person back, at least you could say you tried. And if it don't, you can't be mad at them, because you, like, for instance, you chose for all this to happen. Yes, it was ignorance and you learn from your mistakes, but sometimes you learn a little bit too late.
Yeah. I mean, that's usually how it works. We usually learn everything after things happen, and it kicks your mind like, duh. But no, it's life is a continuous learning
Yes.
on how to do things, go through life and do things right, and be successful and all that. It's just a learning experience.
Agreed. It's just it's a bit tough. It's especially like it goes back to when I said like you overthink everything.
Mm.
It kind of like in a way that's why like anxiety is so popular with our age group because we overthink, and we overthink, then we create problems that doesn't even exist. So, in like for instance, if you're like messaging a girl that you really like and she doesn't message you back right away, you automatically think, well, I must have did something, or she's talking to someone else, and all that stuff runs through your head, and if then you you message them again, then you look like either a psychopath, a creep, or that you're just unstable.
Mm.
And in a way, that's how I think with some guys, it's some guys and girls both, they're misunderstood because you have to think in their shoes, like what they're thinking at that moment. And if you're thinking, because you don't know what kind of life they have, what kind of relationships they've done, what mistakes they've made, they probably could be emotionally unstable because they all they want is to be loved, and you automatically look at them and think they're just crazy. They don't know what they want, but in reality, they don't know. And I'm not per se blaming the people that do think like that, because we all think that way. We all judge people,
Mhm.
no matter what you look like or how you act. Everyone judges someone for something.
You're always judging people, even though you ain't consciously doing it. You're, you know, your subconscious is automatically looking at someone and automatically making some judgment call.
Especially if you like there's been like some people I just see them, I don't like them, just because of how they look. And sometimes when you get to know them, they are a completely different person, and you turn out to be friends with them.
Which that's the thing about, when we got smarter over time and evolved, kinda,
Hmm.
and stuff like that, we started having that in our mind, like, oh, I see, this saber-toothed tiger. And guess what? I don't have nothing to defend myself, and there's nobody else around. I don't think I should probably attack this saber-toothed tiger right now. I'm going to leave. Basically, what it is now, you're walking down. It's dark out. You're walking down the street, and you see somebody in a trench coat, and they're following you from behind. You're going to be like, I need to get out of here. No, let me turn around and greet this person. It's just one of those things.
But eventually you do learn,
Mm-hmm.
maybe.
And it's all from perspective of everything. No matter what it is, it's from perspective of one person to a perspective of another person.
It's very true.
They could see you as, somebody tells them, or you tell your side of the perspective,
Mhm.
right? Well, this person killed this person. From my perspective, I just seen shadows. From behind a curtain or something. There's shadows, and it's like, well, it looked like this person killed this person, and then from Smith's perspective, then back, well, by this one, it looked like this person killed this person in reverse.
So there's always
And-
going to be like a different side to a story.
Mhm.
And I think that's like if you're having like an argument with two people, you can. There's no compromise.
That's the thing. Like, we've always found ways to compromise
In a way, but
with like tribes, stuff like that. We became allies with them.
yeah, but we compromise on in some levels, but also we also find more reasons to do the complete opposite.
Yeah,
So
I
we'll
mean,
compromise on one thing and do the complete opposite on something different. Just something different to, let's say, argue about or fight about. It's kind of like just how everything is. It's
Yeah, like-
everyone wants to argue.
Hmm. Oh yeah, everybody's going to find something to argue about because they're just mad one day.
Yes.
They're mad at the world.
Everyone
You know,
is.
they're going to find something to argue with somebody about. But like that's what we are. We humans usually compromise for certain things, and they won't compromise for other things. And that's a flaw, but a good thing
Yes.
when it comes down to it. It's in our DNA. Like, hey, we come first, and you protect yourself.
All right. Well, that ends this second episode of Off Topic Rambling. If y'all have any suggestions for us, and we'll be glad to hear feedback from you all, and we do appreciate your time.
Believe in Bigfoot.
You gonna end every episode with that?
Yes. So everybody believes in Bigfoot. I have to keep saying believe in Bigfoot.
Well, I'm going to end by believe what you want. Don't believe in Bigfoot. All right. Thank y'all so much.